Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this evening's severe weather update. So, tomorrow we have a slight risk of severe weather across central and northwest Texas in the yellow, including Austin, Waco, Dallas, and Abilene, and bordering on San Antonio, Texas in the yellow. We have a marginal risk covering much of the eastern and northern half of Texas, southwest Oklahoma, northeastern New Mexico, and southwestern Colorado in the dark green tomorrow. And we have a tornado threat tomorrow across central Texas, as the Storm Prediction Center has issued a 5% chance of tornadoes touching down within 25 miles of a location in this brown area across central and north central Texas tomorrow, including Austin and Waco and just south of Dallas. So, tomorrow we actually have a conditional tornado threat uh, across this area. So make sure you're paying close attention to the weather and have your tornado shelter plan in place if you live in the Brown area tomorrow. And we have a 2% chance of tornadoes touching down within 25 miles of a location in this green area tomorrow, including Abilene, Dallas, and San Antonio, and just west of Houston. So make sure you're preparing for a couple of isolated to scattered tornadoes if you live in the green and especially brown areas tomorrow. Looking at tomorrow's damaging wind threat. Tomorrow we have a 15% chance of damaging straight line winds of 58 miles per hour or stronger within 25 miles of a location, extending from near San Antonio through Austin, through Waco, through Dallas, Texas, in the yellow, and a 5% chance of damaging winds in the brown area tomorrow. And we also have a 5% damaging wind risk across southeastern Florida. So make sure you're preparing for some scattered damaging winds if you live in the yellow, and isolated damaging winds if you live in the brown areas tomorrow. And looking at the hail threat, we have a conditional significant hail threat across central and northwest Texas tomorrow, where the Storm Prediction Center has issued a 15% hatched area for hail, including areas like San Antonio, Austin, Waco, Abilene, just south of Dallas, in the yellow hatched area. So we have the chance of seeing some massive, possibly gorilla hail once again tomorrow in this yellow hatched area. So if you're able to, I would recommend parking your cars in the garage if you live in this yellow hatched area tomorrow. And we have a 5% chance of quarter size hail or larger within 25 miles of a location across the broader brown area, as well as southeastern Florida. Now, timing out the storms tomorrow. I mentioned that the threat tomorrow is going to be conditional, and this means that there's no guarantee that these storms are going to develop at all. So, going into tomorrow afternoon around 4 o'clock, we don't see much going on across Texas, just some light to moderate scattered rain showers, and I'll be explaining why in a moment we might not see. We're actually going to see a boom or bust scenario tomorrow. So going into 6 o'clock, we're going to see some isolated, scattered, heavier rain showers developing just east of San Antonio through Austin, maybe into Waco. Going into 7 o'clock, we're going to have a couple of stronger storms start to pop up near Austin and near Temple. Going into 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock, a couple of supercells could develop near Bryan College Station and LaGrange, and these will fall apart as we go into the overnight through midnight and a little bit after midnight. Now notice that these storms do not look that intense, so I'm going to be showing you the bust scenario tomorrow. And for that, we're going to be looking at the instability. We're going to have something called a cap on the atmosphere, a warm layer aloft, which is going to prevent storms from developing if this warm layer can hold. So going into tomorrow around 4 o'clock, you see all these hatched lines across Texas. This represents a cap on the atmosphere, and this will prevent storms from really getting that intense across Texas. And the HRRR model, the H18Z run, shows the cap holding through 4 o'clock and into 5 o'clock. Now, pay attention, we do see breaks in the cap in the HRRR model. So we see these breaks in the cap, then we could be looking at, unfortunately, a boom scenario where we get multiple supercells producing very large hail and tornadoes. But hopefully, we can keep these lines over the Cape and the cap will hold tomorrow and we don't get much activity at all. So take a look at another model looking at the NAM nest. This model actually shows the cap holding tomorrow. So I'm going to be showing you what this looks like going into tomorrow around 4 o'clock. We see capping holding across central Texas, North Texas, Northwest Texas. And actually, this model does have some breakage in the cap as well. So this is going to be a uh, tough event to forecast tomorrow. So make sure you're paying close attention to the weather, especially if you live in central, north central, and northwest Texas tomorrow, as we have a boomer bust scenario when it comes to very large hail and tornadoes. So if you live anywhere in the slight risk tomorrow, pay very close attention to the weather and make sure you have your tornado shelter plan in place and have a way of parking your cars in the garage. Thanks for watching today's severe weather update. Stay safe. Have a wonderful evening, my friends.